Alright, man. I'm ready, I'm set. I'm ready, I'm set, ladies and gentlemen. I'm good, man. Just need to do something real quick. Okay, still need to do it. Here we go. We're gonna get started today, man. We're gonna get started today, man. We're coming different today. Pause. That's a crazy pause. I'm going to lie. My bad, y'all. My bad, my bad, my bad. My bad, y'all. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Still with this shit, I forget that I'm she tryna leave me alone now. I ain't with savages, don't bring your whole round. I'm going bougie, I'm switching my profile. All of my cars get delivered with no mouth. They think they do and we don't, I don't know how. Run through the low car to plug, I need more pounds. I put on drip every day from the floor up. I'm getting sick of this shit, post some more. Yeah. He tryna leave me, I'm low down. I ain't with savages, don't bring your whole round. I'm going bougie, I'm switching my profile. All of my cars get delivered with no mouth. They think they do and we don't, I don't know how. Run through the low car to plug, I need more pounds. I put on drip every day from the floor up. I'm getting sick of this shit, post some more. Yeah. To do something real quick, chat. Just do something real quick, and then we'll get started, man. We'll get started. We gonna have a good stream today, man. Got a lot of things to react to. Buy a zipper weed, hit the club, pay for about 10 niggas to get in. Shit right now, man. Let me get something else. Let me get something else, man. Let me get something else, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to the SLZ in the building. Shout out to chat. Shout out to the big guys in the building. Big bodies in the building. Let's go.
Everything lady, I love when it's hot. Turn to the city, I broke on the notch. Got some more millions, I keep me a knot. I created history and made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it don't false. We call him Chaucer cause they gonna chop. Took her out of violence cause her pussy pop. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock. Cardiac, I'm the boss man in a suit with no tie. I can't be sober, I gotta stay high.
Let's go.
Give me some syrup in the Canada dry.
Let's go. Let's go.
Don't worry, baby, I keep me some fire.
What's good, chat? Shout out to the 72 in the building. Shout out to Soul Society in the building. I'm just getting something situated, chat. Then we'll get started, man. On God, we'll get started. On God, we'll get started.
I can tell her the skies. Upgrade at my wrist, put her gas in the sky. She sing I might sound and change the whole life. I told her to go work on her house.
Let's go.
Everything lady, I love when it's hot. Turn to the city, I broke off the notch. Got some more millions, I keep me a knot. I created history and made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it don't false. We call him Chaucer cause they gonna chop. Took her out of violence cause her pussy pop. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock.
Got it, yeah. Money. At it. But. Let's go.
I took the Billy Cool back then I hopped in the car. I put this bitch in front of the Billy in front of the driver. And man, this shit that we
hold on, this is what I was working on, chat. This is what I was working on, chat.
I'm in the coupe by myself.
It's a little too big.
I had that kicker though when I was fat.
A little too big.
Was on the shelf. Posted it around in the fan. I'm sick and tired of seeing young niggas act like they fine and telling their lies. Acting like they the one created this and they get like my guys. Yeah, Cartier eyes, Cartier coat, Cartier the watch, Cartier look, Cartier the Cartier spec low on the side. Prison cut down, they Cartier.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Big Purple in the building. If you caught me on Bleeding Purple, ladies and gentlemen. If you caught me on Bleeding Purple, ladies and gentlemen, we got some big announcements to make today, man. We got some really big announcements to make today, man. Hold up. Ooh. Oh, this is the one without Travis, man. Nah, I fucked up, bruh. I just kind of cut through it, man. Nah, the one without Travis is crazy, though. The one without Travis is crazy. Let me play one more song, man. Let me play one more song now that I'm actually ready, man. Hold on. No, man, let's play some Pink Tape, man. I think at this point it's overhated, man. Not too much on Pink Tape, man. Not too much on Pink Tape, man. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the vibes right, man. Let's get the vibes right, man. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to the 87 in the building. Let me go ahead and plug my shit on Twitter and then on Discord, man. That used to know. I don't know it, I took my hand in a phone up. Go ahead, put this on Twitter. I don't wanna lose my mind. I said, Mama, I'm sorry, I cannot feel my body. Yeah. I'm in the party, I'm on 2 shots of Molly. Yeah. I'm feeling awesome. Hey, let me do my roll call. Let me do my roll call, man. Let me do my roll call for the building, man. Mama, I'm sorry, I cannot feel my body. Yeah. I'm in the party, I want 2 shots of Molly. Yeah. Damn, I don't fuck with the Pink Tape anymore, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy, bro. Damn, I hate being sober. Alright, let's go. Shout out to Cyrus in the building. Shout out to Henry in the building. Shout out to Airy Rude Boy in the building. Shout out to David in the building. Shout out to Dolo in the building. Shout out to JoJo in the building. We gonna have a good stream, man. Oh, what the fuck did I play that? Utopia is better though. I will say that. I will say that. You know, man, I ain't gonna lie. This shit honestly isn't really hitting. This shit really isn't hitting. Let's do this thing. Let's do this. Cause that shit really wasn't hitting. Let me stop lying to y'all, man. Let me stop lying to y'all, man.
Up right now.
Stop lying.
T-time. T-time like I got a cup of this shit. T-time like golf at 5:45. I love to fuck on a regular bitch. Famous hoes lame, but they stay on my dick.
I ain't gonna lie.
Heard your new joint is embarrassing shit.
Travis did his thing on his album. Travis did his thing on his album. Shout out to Dalton in the building. Shout out to Darren in the building. Shout out to Christian in the building. Shout out to Cobra in the building. Shout out to Juju in the building. Big SOZ, Soul Society's in the building, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your friends. We in the building tonight, man.
We carrying the shit. She asking for bread for her parents and shit. I told her I don't got no cash and she said she gon' wait on a rank on some Arabic shit. I pull out $1 million and stare at the shit. My dick just got hard cause a wire just hit. My schedule's out, come spinners for real. Man, fuck all that spinning and narrative shit. I melt down the chains that I bought from your boss. Give a fuck about all of that heritage shit. Since V not around, the members done hung up the Louis. They not even wearing that shit. Don't come to the boy about repairing some shit. Don't come to the boy about sparing some shit. You lucky that vote was suing cause I would've been with the Wassers and Paris and shit.
Is you fucking crazy? Is you fucking crazy? And they scared of the 7. After 1-3, then we turn up 11. Keep the shit open like 7-11. We at the house, I got 7 in heaven. They think I'm satanic, I keep me a rebel.
Let me make this larger right here.
Papa and Sid, she ushered my way, then she started confessing. I know it's a stage.
Yeah, man, we in the building today, man. We got some videos to react. It's gonna be a react every stream, I will say that. You know what I'm saying? Couple tweets to react to. Couple of announcements to make, man.
Is you fucking crazy? Is you fucking crazy? Rapping the cheese, wrap around me cause I'm got property. Chocolate AP and chocolate the V's. Got the Willy Wonka factory. Burn that athlete like it's calories. Find another flame out as me. Bitch.
Hold on. Yeah. Is you fucking crazy? Is you fucking crazy? Is you fucking crazy? Is you fucking crazy? Is you fucking crazy?
Hey, let me not break this shit, man.
I'm in the Texas boys and ran it up a couple, maybe.
I'm gonna turn this shit down. I think we've listened to enough songs. He did try to make Sicko Mode 2. It just didn't really hit as much. Sicko Mode is just, different song. But ladies and gentlemen, man, welcome back to another stream. I'm back. You see what I'm saying? I want to shout out the 120 in the building. The deep off-season audience is in the building, man. We're talking about Rick Barry. I don't know what to tell you. I looked at the topic sheet, looked what was going on in the NBA world, and really the only thing that caught my eye was Rick fucking Barry. So yeah, that's where we are in the fucking off season, man. I need the NBA season to come back, bro. I need the NBA season to come back because the shit is getting ridiculous. You see what I'm seeing out here, chat? Shit is getting ridiculous. Give me back my league, man. God. But listen, man. You guys know my usual intro, man. Super chat, this, that, and the third. I ain't gonna lie. I need to switch it up today. Man. As of right now, the best way to support what I'm doing, the best way to support the SLZ Society, SLZ movement, is to not super chat. It's not to become a member. It's actually something that you can just do for free. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make it official today. Along with Let's Keep It a Buck, a couple of us individually are also making the switch to Twitch. Alright. One of those being me. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, the Twitch has been made. Well, low-key, it already has been made. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been teasing y'all for the last couple of weeks. We made it official on Let's Keep It a Buck, and we said, hey, why don't we all just as a collective go to Twitch, bruh? Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, along with Let's Keep It a Buck, starting September, B Souls, me, Brian Solis, and SLZ will officially be exclusive to Twitch.tv. Listen, man. It was a tough decision. In my opinion, it was even a tougher decision than Let's Keep It a Buck trying to move over to Twitch. Because the difference between Let's Keep It a Buck and myself is, at least from the streaming side of things, Let's Keep It a Buck is a bigger platform than this platform. So I'm low-key looking at it as a small creator going over to Twitch. Smaller. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know, when it comes to basketball talk, a lot of that does happen on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Searchability, discoverability, all that happens on YouTube. All right. So, to me, compared to Let's Keep It a Buck moving on Twitch, low-key, there were more cons than pros. In a vacuum, like in terms of total count on both sides. But, you know, as I outweighed the pros and the cons, the pros, once again, outweighed the cons, bro. The pros outweighed the cons. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Team Purple from here on out, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Well, technically, we're not exclusive on Twitch. Let's Keep It a Buck is just because we stream twice a week. We don't stream more than twice a week. It's going to be on Twitch. And technically, I still can stream on YouTube, just not multi-stream. But the home of the main, the main soul stream, my home of a streaming platform will be on Twitch. I ain't gonna lie. Now, you guys might be asking, and I already see a couple of people in the building. Yo, what are the pros? What are the pros going to Twitch? Number one, I always say, when it comes to a smaller creator streaming on a platform or picking a streaming platform, YouTube over Twitch. And I'll say that right now, even though I'm making this announcement. If you're a smaller creator with no platform to build off of, and, you know, you're just starting to get into things, yeah, go to YouTube over Twitch. Go to YouTube over Twitch. I would even argue, if you want to be a streamer, the best thing you can do is to not stream. That might be my hot take of the day. If you want to grow as a streamer, the best thing you can do is actually not to stream. It's actually focus on being like a TikTok content creator, or a static video YouTube content creator. Try to build a following through that discoverability, and then say, yo, I'm gonna start streaming type shit. If you look at the biggest creators, streamers in the world, a lot of them did that more recently. A lot of people are doing that. So that would actually be my advice. In terms of, technicalities, other platforms do offer better splits than Twitch, this, that, and the third. And I will say, I am not making this switch just off of the whim. You know what I'm saying? There are some behind the stage things that I can't say on here that did incentivize me to move over to Twitch. You know what I'm saying? So there are incentives to me going to Twitch that other creators just don't have access to. But aside from that, I think, let's keep it a buck, and all of us moving over to Twitch, it's gonna allow us to build an ecosystem of content, essentially. Low-key what we did on YouTube, but on Twitch. And I think it's gonna hit more on Twitch because of the existing community and how people interact with creators on Twitch compared to YouTube, if that makes sense. It's kind of like with AMP. They have, like, a bubble of creators. If you follow one creator, you're probably gonna follow 5 other creators along that bubble, and you just kind of sift through their content, and it becomes like this content loop. I feel like for Let's Keep It a Buck, if a lot of us stream on Twitch, it's gonna be the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? I already have a established platform, so I'm not technically I'm starting from scratch, but I'm not really starting from scratch on Twitch. I feel like the chat features on Twitch are much more superior than YouTube. And I've said this about YouTube over the last year or so. They have slowed down on focusing on the live stream side, unfortunately. There are a couple of things that they could have done by now that they just haven't. They've been focusing too much on shorts and other shit. But yeah, I think as a live streaming platform, Twitch is going to be better in terms of that for the community. I think in terms of the content that we can do, Twitch is also going to be better for this specific stream. The fears of getting clapped for watching NBA shit, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. The fears of getting clapped because of watching, playing music, watching music videos, that's going to be less of a concern on Twitch than on YouTube. So in terms of creative freedom, I personally feel like it's going to be a great move for the community. You know what I'm saying? I'm very optimistic about this move. It's a long-term play, which is crazy saying because we're switching over to Twitch and everything that goes along with Twitch.
Community soundboard better be in play. Also rest in peace Lil Tay, praying gesture.
I don't know about rest in peace Lil Tay. Everyone is saying she actually might not be alive, might not be dead now. But community soundboard, I don't know yet. But yeah, that, like, Persian knows what I'm talking about because he's been on Twitch. You know about all the plugins people got on Twitch, all the customizability, bruh. Like, it's gonna be so much more in depth. I'm excited for this move. So once again, I think the best thing you can do if you want to support what I'm doing is to just follow me on Twitch. Just follow me on Twitch. The move will be made starting in September. Like, let's keep it a buck officially. You know what I'm saying? The Twitch is right here. It's twitch.tv/bsouls. Fun fact, I was actually signing up to make a new account yesterday. And, I was trying to find the username, bsouls, and it said user taken. So I typed in twitch.tv/bsouls. I'm like, who the fuck has this? Apparently it was me. I created an account like 6-7 years ago. I think I actually did stream on it a couple times, but this is like when I really started, like, for real. Created an account 6-7 years ago, And the screenshots y'all have been seeing literally says like, yo, I haven't streamed in 6 years, which is crazy. It was linked to a, you know, I don't know if it's just me, but I sort of I've made like 6 to 7 emails throughout my whole lifetime. It was one of the old emails that I don't use anymore. And thank God I set the recovery email to an email that I actually use. So I had to go through like 3 loops just to get this account back. But yeah, man, because the other alternative was making an account called bsouls_ or bsouls with the O being a 0. But I'm like, man, I'm going to jump through these hoops so I can get twitch.tv/bsouls, man. So, you know, we pulled through. You know what I'm saying? We pulled through. And also, shout out to Purgeon for the $10, by the way. But yeah, we pulled through. Listen, bro, the Twitch is on the screen right here. Twitch.tv/bsouls is pinned in the comment section. The goal, it's also on the fucking screen. You know, at the bottom of the screen right here. And yeah, the goal is 1,000 followers before I start streaming on there. That is the goal that I have set for our community and for myself before I start streaming on there. I'm gonna try to promote it as much as possible leading up to it. But yeah, and also it's not just gonna be me that's moving into Twitch from Let's Keep It a Buck community. Let's just say that. But yeah, man. Actually replace the super chat goal with just Twitch followers and the updates live. So, you know, 800 away from our goal. 800 away from our goal. Sage actually already does stream on Twitch. So, it's between Damo and Omar. So, y'all got a 50-50 shot of who the fuck is going to move over to Twitch. You know what I'm saying? So, that's it for the big announcement. Big Purple in the building. Team Purple in the building. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense. Shout out to Phantom, man. And it's crazy to say because of everything that I've said on Twitch, about Twitch, the things that I still believe about Twitch, but I ran the numbers down, bruh. I did. And I think that's what's crazy about the criticism about, oh, this is an L move and everything. If a person moves to Twitch and this person is highly critical of Twitch, you would think that there's going to be a good reason for them to move over to Twitch instead of someone who doesn't really know about the pros and cons and just moves to Twitch blindly. You know, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know my shit, bro. Don't worry. I got us. All right, I got us. We're chilling. We're vibing, bro. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're cooling. We're cooling. But with that being said, I know I got 200 in the building today. I got 200 in the building today, man. Listen, man. We got a couple of things to talk about. Oh, fuck. I'm still not fully recovered from my sickness, man. At this point, my sinuses has definitely gotten better. It's just a little bit of a itchy throat at this point. But it'll all work out in the end. Nobody likes change as normal. That too. And I understand, you know. Same thing when people, when streamers switch from Twitch to YouTube. I know a lot of people that just have not grown since they moved from Twitch to YouTube. Because a big part of their audience was being in Twitch, being in that Twitch ecosystem. And once they moved to YouTube, motherfuckers were like, yeah, I don't use YouTube, bro. Like, I'm not doing it. And the same thing works vice versa, you know. There's a lot of people on YouTube that will not be making the switch. So, I understand there's going to be a viewer drop, but hopefully in the end, there's going to be a net positive. And I trust us, man. And worst case, I'll just go back here. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. The clips will still be going up here. You know what I'm saying? All the clips will still be going up on this channel. So, no difference there. Worst case, deadass, if this shit does not work out, I'm going to just go back here. You know what I'm saying? But we're here, though. We're here. So are you done streaming on Kick now, or are you going to be exclusively streaming on Twitch? To answer that question, I am probably done streaming on Kick now. Because even those watch parties I was thinking of doing on Kick, excuse me, we could probably do it on Kick. Jesus Christ. Those watch parties that we did on Kick, like the couple that we did, I'm pretty sure I can do those on Twitch. So, yeah, there's really not much incentive for me to stream on Kick anymore. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much it. I don't want to drag out this portion of the stream. I know you guys are here for the basketball talk. You know what I'm saying? The first thing I want to react to, and I just seen it on my timeline. I seen the engagement. I don't even know what the context is. I just, I see 1 million views on it. A lot of quote retweets. And it's a clip by friend of the pod, Joy D'Angela, about Rick Barry, which is also a friend of the pod. And he doesn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that Omar clip about Rick Barry. So Rick Barry goes on an epic rant about his era versus today's era. I just want to see what he says. Like, I don't even know what the fuck he said. Like, deadass. So
this generation get very, very disrespectful when it comes to, that era. And they always say, like, oh, well, Wilt Chamberlain, even if he did put up 100, it was against plumbers.
Please, the plumbers. Are you kidding me? They had so many great centers back in those. They hardly have centers. The guys that are centers now, they're not centers.
Oh, shit.
I mean, they play on the wing. They're all wanting to shoot 3-point shots. I mean, they don't block shots. They don't protect the rim. It's a different game. People don't understand. I've had many people say, well, Rick, you guys wouldn't be able to play with these guys today. I said, okay, what drugs are you on? Okay,
oh, shit.
You got a problem. Because if you really understood the game,
you
really knew what the difference was between when we played and the guys playing here, we had nothing to help us. I didn't have an agility coach. I didn't have a dietitian. I didn't travel on charter planes so that we could get a good night's sleep and get to the next city and have a nice day.
Oh, shit.
We drove ourselves around in rental cars. I mean, we had $8 a day per diem. These guys get chartered food on their planes. We didn't have whirlpools, and we didn't have saunas, and we didn't have masseuses, and we didn't have any of that. If I played today, I would be faster.
Oh.
And I was pretty fast, okay, and quick.
It's a funny-ass picture.
I'd be faster, stronger, quicker, more endurance, jump higher. I would be so much better a basketball player because I had none of those things available to me. It's absolutely crazy how much better the guys that I played with, the Oscar Robertsons, the Jerry West, all of us, as good as we were, would be even greater playing today.
Wow.
Hey, hot take. But he's low-key spitting, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, he's low-key spitting. I always say this about, like, comparing players throughout eras. You can really only look at it in two ways. You take a time machine, take Rick Barry from the 1960s, put them in the time machine, boom, drop him in an NBA game today. How will he play? And I think even with Rick Barry's explanation, he would say, yo, if you just drop me in an NBA game today, yeah, you got a point. He didn't directly say it, but yeah, you got a point. That's essentially what he said. But what he's saying is, I think it's unfair to older players to say, I mean, if I was born in, let's say, 1990, and I grew up seeing the Kobe Bryants of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world, the Dirks of the world, the Kevin Garnetts of the world play basketball. I see how people are being trained to play basketball. I see where the game is heading. I see where, you know what I'm saying, the moves that are effective, this, that, and the third. To say that I'd be, for 20 years of my life, 18 years of my life, I'd just be blind to that and not adapt my game is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So the conversation about, like, how good would Michael Jordan be in today's game? If you drop 1992 MJ in today's NBA, I personally still think he might arguably be the best player in the league still. Just a drag and drop type shit. At worst, I still think he's a top 5 player. But even that, I feel like that's unfair to Jordan, because if Jordan, again, was born in 1984, the same year LeBron was born in 1990 or whatever the fuck the age is, and he saw all these threes being shot, you think like Jordan would just, nah, I'ma just be a mid-range menace still the whole time. So, that's essentially why I think it's not a bad take. It's not a bad take. The only thing I don't like about this argument is the fact that when it's the reverse situation, and when it's, how would Steph Curry do in our era, they they never, for some reason, because of how the logic works, it's always older players get better in today's era, but people in today's era could not hang with y'all back in the day. And that's the only thing, and that's the main thing I really hate about this conversation, and even how Rick Barry put it. Because if someone asked him, yo, how would Giannis play in your era? This motherfucker would probably say, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Giannis wouldn't be Giannis in our era. You know what I'm saying? That dribbling up the ball thing that he be doing, that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna push him out the way. We're gonna push him out the way for real. Like, all right, buddy. And at that point, I feel like you're being unfair to newer players. But also, there's some credence to it. Like, that's like, if Steph Curry, if we're doing the same logic, if Steph Curry was born in 1938, why would he not play like Bob Cousy? Who would be his point of reference? Who would be his inspirations for Steph Curry to play like Steph Curry in 2023, in 2016? There would not be a point of reference. He would probably just play like Oscar Robertson, Bob Cousy, and Jerry West. And playing like Oscar Robertson and Jerry West is like on the high end of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting conversation. Ultimately, both arguments don't make sense. And ultimately, I think it's just going to show what your biases are depending on how you explain these cross-era conversations. But Rick Barry doesn't make a bad point, in my opinion. In my opinion. It's not the worst take in the world. You know, I do want to see the quote retweets, though. Because I know the quote retweets was a lot. You know, Curry would be the reference, I guess, but that's given a lot of like butterfly effect. You know what I'm saying? Like thinking about how his life would turn out, thinking about his mindset and his innate creativity with the bass. Like, come on, bro. Like at that point, we're just bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? You're just making. All of this is already hypothetical, but that's like a hypothetical within the hypothetical. Like, all right, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. Let's see what the replies are. Number one, he's right. Like, genuinely, he's right. Number two, look at Joy, man. All right. Okay, buddy. Okay. Let's see. Hey, shout out to Joy, though, because she has been getting some really big interviews. I think she interviewed Dr. J a couple weeks ago. So I don't know who her connect is, but she be getting these big ass interviews. You know what I'm saying? He said, too bad, Rick. Let's go to the quote retweets. I think the quote retweets is really what's cooking. NBA legend Rick Barry spitting nothing but truth about something that should really be common sense. Many people who talk basketball on social media think you could just copy and paste modern players in that era and they'd be the same guy. It's the absence of basic common sense. It just depends on the conversation you're having, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Just if someone asks you, yo, how would Rick Barry play in this era? Just ask them, like, are we talking about just dragging and dropping him? Or is he gonna born in 1980 and with his, you know, that type of shit? So, I don't think it's a lack of common sense. It just depends on the conversation that you're having. Rick G says, this man dominated 3 different levels of basketball: college, ABA, NBA. He is in the best shooter of all time conversation. I don't know about that. He did all of his on the hard rim. Great passer IQ through the roof. Today, his skill set, he would be a beast. Barry was Bird before Bird. Barry gave Warriors fans a chip with no other dude, just great teammates. What? All right, shaboing boing. Rick G, you're shaboing boinging now. Jesus Christ. Gowie says, Rick Barry kept it too real. Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, and other greats from the 60s were hooping in chucks. The sneaker technology of today alone would have extended their careers and enhanced their performances. Yeah, I mean, all of these are good points. All of these are good points. And even just, you know, the rules. Because I believe, like in the 60s and in the 50s, the reason why when you watch tape back then, it would just be a lot of this dribbling is because the how they called carries back then was very, very strict compared to now, where you can just sometimes you can just fully get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go like this and then put it back down, or like, you know, just even a this and put it back down. But I think back then, like the way they would call it, like anything aside from a horizontal up and down was a carry. So you could do something like this, and then you go like this, and that's a carry type shit. So it's like, okay, with those rules, how the fuck was they, you know, how was they gonna pull off the hezzy crosses? Like you literally couldn't. You literally couldn't. You know? It's just a different era. And that's why I always give credit to the blueprint setters. I always give credit to the blueprint setters. Now I think there is a line, and ultimately I think in these discussions we also just gotta accept the biases that we got, to be honest with you. At this point, like, yo, there is a line where it's like, yo, stop being objective, bruh. Stop. Stop trying to be Mr. Objective. Stop trying to be the smartest in the room. If you are really trying to be Mr. Objective, you know that this conversation is highly subjective. You know that this conversation is highly hypothetical. So let's just lean towards our biases and just say, yo, you don't really fuck with these old players. And, you know, you have biases towards current players compared to old players. You know? That's it. If you're really trying to be the least biased possible, that is actually the least biased stance to take. Is just to admit that bias exists. Type shit and things of that nature. But yeah, shout out to Joy. Shout out to Joy for the tweet. Great clip as well. I think she's been working with the big three. I think that's how she's been getting a lot of these interviews. So good for her though. Good for her. And not that I got, let's see, how many people in here? 276? Yeah. If y'all just coming through, man, follow the Twitch. All right? Twitch.tv/BSouls. All right, we're trying to get to 1,000 followers. Before my first stream. It would help out a lot. Type shit and things of that nature. So, yeah. Y'all reacting to Barry McCockiner today? No, we're not. I don't know if y'all saw the community post on Souls and Sage. For the rest of the year, I think we're going to slow down on the uploads and focus on quality over quantity. And there was some dude in the community post that was being a dickhead about that. Oh, you going to up quality? By what? Talking more basketball? All right, buddy. If you don't know what the difference between a Dylan Does Basketball video and a podcast clip, then that's on you. Like, that's on you. But yeah, we're coming out with more original content. We're coming out with content that we've honestly never done before that's more on the experimental side. You know, just bangers. You know what I'm saying? But also, we're going to be uploading less. I will say that. We're also going to be uploading less. But trust me, we got videos coming up that justifies the longer wait time. And I think hopefully it turns out for the best. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and pull up the next video I want to watch. Let's see. Chat, we might watch a Jesser video today too. I don't know. I'm trying to watch more variety content with y'all that's like basketball related. That's not just NBA related. And technically this one is still NBA related. But Johnny Arnett put up a video called Hot Takes That Shouldn't Be Hot. You see the thumbnail, Paul Pierce, D Wade. There's something to be. The Paul Pierce, D Wade discussion is so fucking weird because I don't know why it's lasted this long at this point. I thought it was just gonna be a couple day thing that ends up happening every single year, but it's dragged on for too long. And also, I ain't gonna lie, I still see where Paul Pierce is coming from, but at this point, can you talk about any other legend aside from D Wade? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just keep on talking about D Wade at this point. Like, relax. And to Lucky Pup in the chat, is B Souls. It's just B Souls. It's also linked in the chat. So, shout out to Johnny Arnett for the video though. Let's get it popping type shit. B Souls in the building. Yeah, I'm trying to get with it type shit.
When it comes to basketball discussions, there are genuine hot takes where most of the basketball community doesn't share the same view. But then there's an even more specific kind of hot take. It's one that's contrary to the popular belief, but it shouldn't be, because it's a fact and most people don't recognize it as such. Today, I'm breaking down my short list of hot takes that shouldn't be considered as hot. And let me know in the comments what are some of your hot takes as well. First off,
ain't that
Tim
every
Duncan
hot take
should
though?
not be classified as a power forward. Let me be clear. At times in the past, I've referred to Duncan as a power forward, and I've even given him the label of the greatest power forward in NBA history. But after some recent consideration, I've kind of changed my mind on that perspective. Calling Tim Duncan a power forward is nice if you're a Tim Duncan fan, because it then puts him in a category where we can label him as the greatest ever at that position. But make no mistake,
Chat, you know what it is. you know what it is, bro. It's Jaylen Brown, Celtics fans and Jaylen Brown fans last season trying to say that Jaylen Brown is, I believe, like a guard, so he can get All NBA when he's really a forward. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Also, I think another player that falls under this category is Jerry West. I believe when we talk about Jerry West, it's always in the greatest shooting guards discussion. But then when you actually look at the position he played, it's all point guard except for like 2 seasons or 3 seasons or 4 seasons. My bad. my bad. But majority of his career was point guard. But for some reason, we always classify him as one of the greatest shooting guards of all time. So,
vast majority of his basketball playing days as a center. Throughout all of his high school days and in his college years at Wake Forest, Duncan was the team's starting center. That was his natural position. The only reason why Duncan started his NBA career at the power forward position was because the San Antonio Spurs already had a perennial all-star center, which was David Robinson. And soon after Robinson retired, Duncan assumed his traditional position at the 5 spot. A lot of people don't realize this, but even with Duncan spending a significant amount of time at the power forward position while in San Antonio, he actually spent more seasons in the NBA at the center position than he did at power forward. When you add in his days in high school and college, then it's not even close. Duncan spent way more time playing at the 5 rather than the 4.
Appreciate that, Juju.
On offense, Tim's game has always been a bit of a blend between a traditional center and a power forward.
Yeah,
as he was
I think that's the beauty about Tim Duncan's game is he could play either, like at a all-time high level. Put him at center, he's gonna be one of the best centers in the league. Put him at power forward, he's gonna be like he's skilled enough as a passer, he's agile enough, and like he can stretch the floor out as a 4. But if you want him to be a low post presence, if you want him to be a pick and roll big man, if you want him to be a lob catching big, you know what I'm saying? If you want him to be a rim protector, which you can also ask from power forwards, but from a center specifically, like he can do that, you know. So
his range out a bit with his signature bank shot. But especially on defense, he's always played as a defensive anchor in the paint and served as the team's primary rim protector, which is a classic trait of a traditional center. The only argument I can see for Duncan being labeled as a power forward is the fact that he played his best seasons at that position while David Robinson was still around. But by that logic, we should also be calling LeBron James a power forward, since that was his position during his peak years with the Miami Heat. And of course, absolutely no one makes the argument that LeBron should be ranked among the greatest power forwards of all time. From the standpoint of how we rank Tim Duncan on the overall all-time list, and as far as how we appreciate him as one of the greatest players of all time, this topic of his position shouldn't really affect any of that. I just think we should be genuine when discussing the greatest players at each position. And if anything, Duncan should be in the discussion of the greatest centers of all time. What's interesting,
he still might be number 2 in that discussion
of who becomes the greatest power forward of all time.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, chat. It don't. With Tim Duncan specifically, it shit don't really matter. It's either, is he a center? Oh, he's still a 1 or 2. Is he a power forward? He's still a 1 or 2. I don't know what to tell you. I know that there might even be a couple people that would argue that he's better than Kareem, and Kareem would really be his only comp in the center position. But
reliably remove Tim Duncan from the conversation. Suddenly, it becomes a very competitive race. Let me know who is your choice in the comment section below. My next hot take that shouldn't be hot is that the gap between Paul Pierce and Dwayne Wade isn't all that big. Pierce was the one who initially lit the internet on fire when he made the...
I swear to God, I'm not hunting for Paul Pierce clips, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I have so many Paul Pierce clips on the channel for no reason.
This comparison. And not just Jalen Rose and Michelle Beadle, but seemingly everyone was continuously roasting him for it. Even after all the public shaming, Pierce recently doubled down on a podcast, as he clearly believes he's on that level.
Put Shaq on my team, put LeBron and Bosh with me. I'm not gonna win one. You don't think? You put me, LeBron, and
Isaiah Thomas said.
Me, LeBron, and Bosh. We not gonna win one.
Yeah.
We not gonna win a couple. Like, who's the better 3-point shooter?
Yeah.
Sure,
Head
is he a
ass,
better scorer? Is he a better scorer?
Yes.
Listen,
D-Wade is a better
like
scorer.
most people, I'm taking D-Wade in that comparison, as he was clearly the more accomplished player, and he was also the better defensive player. But again, the gap isn't as big as many people think, and I have no problems with Paul Pierce believing this. I mean, Pierce does make some valid points. He was a better 3-point shooter than Wade, and as far as an overall scorer, Pierce wasn't just good, but he was one of the very best. Over a 5-year stretch, from the 2000 to 2001 season through the 04 to 05 season, Pierce was 3rd overall in scoring. He scored more points in that 5-year stretch than Shaquille O'Neal, Dirk Nowitzki, Vince Carter, and Kobe Bryant.
L argument.
Torched on the court as well. Like when he dropped 42 points
Totals
against
merchant.
Shaq and Kobe while earning the nickname.
That's one
The
game.
Truth.
That's
Or
one
like
game.
When he dropped 50 points on LeBron
that's
James
another game,
and the
that's another
Cleveland Cavaliers.
I could do that for D-Wade too, though. I could do that for D-Wade though.
In 2006.
Bring up like these crazy scoring games.
He was also a very explosive scorer when he needed to be. Like when he dropped 46 points in the second half alone against the New Jersey Nets in 2001. Like Pierce mentioned, during his prime years, he didn't have the luxury of playing alongside of Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh. Sure, he had some quality help, like a co-star in Antoine Walker, but it wasn't until he got legitimate Hall of Fame help that he immediately won a championship at the age of 30. Ultimately, I'm taking Wade over Pierce. But unlike most people, I'm not laughing at Pierce or mocking him for believing this. He was certainly good enough to warrant this kind of confidence. My last hot take that should...
I'm about to say, D-Wade wasn't really with... D-Wade wasn't in his prime when he played with LeBron. He was in his prime with LeBron for one season, like deadass. 2012 was just ain't 26 point per game D-Wade anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I just think with these arguments, if you're gonna make an argument for someone, at least be consistent with it with the OG dude. You know what I'm saying? At least give him that benefit of the doubt. You know. Also, hey yo. hey yo on screen. Hey yo on screen. But that one, I still disagree. You know, when we talk about peaks, Dwayne Wade had an argument for being the best player in the world a couple years. When we talk about peaks, Dwayne Wade carried teams to rings. When we talk about peaks, someone was in top 5 conversations routinely. And when push comes to shove, Paul Pierce was just not that dude. He was just not that dude. And at this point, it's kind of like comparing, you know, I don't even know, bro. Like Embiid and Bam type shit. I don't know. Like, I understand one dude is great and he can do a lot of things with a lot of help. But at some point, bruh, there is a noticeable gap. There was a noticeable gap. And it's noticeable enough to say, yeah, there's a big gap. You know what I'm saying? And Mon's asking in the chat, best player in the world, 06. Which, side note, is a crazy year to have the argument for being the best player in the world. But for you to arguably be the best player in the world in 06 is crazy. And low-key, 09 as well. 09, he's in the discussion. He's in the discussion for best in the world. But this is what I'm saying though. You can't name me one year where Paul Pierce was in the conversation for best in the world. Just in the conversation. Just in the conversation. Dwayne Wade, I can at least name you two. So.
To be hot is that Larry Bird was actually an elite defensive player. For those of you who have been longtime viewers of my channel, you've certainly heard me talk about this several times before. Unfortunately, so many people
if y'all don't want to count
still don't
09,
get it, so I'm
my
including
point
it
still
again
stands.
in
My
another
point
video.
still stands.
For some reason, when you get an unathletic looking white guy, people just automatically assume he can't play defense. It's not just Larry Bird who suffers from this. Dan Marley is often a player who is criticized as a plumber from the
Shout out to
Jordan
the 323 in the building.
In reality, Thunder Dan was incredibly
Thunder
fit
Dan
and was one of the best defensive players of his era. But back to Larry Bird. Larry Legend was the leader of the Boston Celtics throughout the 1980s, who were consistently among the best teams in the league defensively. That wasn't mere coincidence, as Bird was known for playing with intensity, energy, and effort every time he set foot on the court, and as a leader, he expected the same from his teammates. On an individual level, Bird certainly proved himself as well. In his career, he made 3 All-Defense teams, and in 1983, he tied for 3rd place in the Defensive Player of the Year voting, receiving as many votes as all-time great defenders like Michael Cooper and Bobby Jones. Not only was Bird a solid on-ball defender, but his quick hands and high defensive IQ enabled him to get a ton of steals, and over his career, he averaged 1.7 steals per game. From his rookie...
I don't know about great on D. Pause. But I just feel like there's certain words where we just gotta reserve and hold to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? I think great is one of them. I think superstar is one of them. You can't just be given that name, that label to everyone, bruh. And when I think of great defender, I'm thinking Tim Duncan. I'm thinking Kevin Garnett. I'm thinking about Kawhi Leonard. I'm thinking about David Robinson. I'm thinking about Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm thinking about Bill Russell, Dennis Rodman. I'm thinking about Gary Payton. I'm thinking about all these dudes. I'm thinking about Kobe Bryant. I'm thinking about all these dudes. To say Larry Bird is on that level, I just can't agree, bro. I can't agree. Good defender, but to say he's great, yeah, that's stretching it, man. That's stretching it. Scottie Pippen as well. You know, that's stretching it.
Season until the 1988 season, Bird got nearly 1,300 steals, which is the 4th most in the entire league over that stretch of time. And what's even more impressive is that among non-guards, that was the most in the entire league. Not many players in the history of the NBA have ever got 8 steals in a single game. Larry Bird did that 3 times.
That's 3 games.
His 9-steal game in 1985, where he nearly had a quadruple-double in only 3 quarters of play. If Larry Legend had played in the 4th quarter of that game, then he likely would be the all-time record holder for the most steals in a single game, which is held by Kendall Gill with a total of 11. You also have to consider how Bird was a versatile defensive player, and with his 6'9" frame, he was very capable.
He's a good defender, though.
Of
I will say
positions.
that.
When his career began, he actually started as a power forward, guarding some of the strongest players in the league. Due to the emergence of Kevin McHale, Bird eventually moved to the small forward spot and started guarding elite wings. Simply put, way too many people say that Bird was a subpar defensive player, and hardly anyone says that he was an elite defensive player. But that's exactly what he was. At the end of the day, these are just my hot takes that I don't believe should be considered as hot. What are yours?
Hey, listen, they met the criteria for the video, man. They're definitely hot takes. Me personally, in terms of who the takes that I believe in, I think he went 1 for 3. The Tim Duncan one I agree with. I don't think Larry Bird is a great defender. Will not say that. He's solid. He's solid, but not great. Great is stretching it. Great is stretching it. And then the Paul Pierce thing, I do think there's a sizable gap to say that the gap is big enough to say there's a big gap. When again, one dude has a couple years in his career where you can say he's arguably the best player in the world, and the other one, him being top 5 is his peak. And even in that discussion, he was probably 5 or 6. I think that's a sizable gap to say that there's a big ass gap between those two players. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's just me though. That's just me. And when really the only thing you got on another player is, well, off-ball movement, specifically off-ball shooting, because D-Wade was a great backdoor cutter. And it wasn't like he was stagnant without the ball too. And three-point shooting and free throw shooting, I guess. But shout out to Johnny Arnett though for the video though. I fuck with it. And let me see how many people are here right now. Shout out to the Big 341 in the building. For the people who are just joining up, man, listen. Real quick announcement for those who don't know. Listen, man, we're moving to Twitch. Alright, we're moving to Twitch by September. Starting in September, we will be Twitch exclusive. Okay. Clips will still be going on this channel, but we will be streaming on Twitch exclusively, along with Let's Keep It a Buck. Alright. Twitch is pinned in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. And it's also on the screen. It's just B-Souls. And this is what it looks like. Alright. So follow up, man. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers. Trying to get to 1,000 followers before we actually start streaming. As close as we can get to that. But we gonna have a good time though, man. We gonna have a good time. Type shit. Christian Johnson is already subbed, and I appreciate that. Like deadass, I appreciate that. Let me see. I don't even know how to operate this thing, man. Hold on. I don't even know how to. The stream summary. Nah. Like this shit is so much more in depth compared to fucking compared to YouTube. Let's see. Yeah. You see the vibes? Hey, last time I streamed on this thing, it was 2K16, bruh. Oh shit, 2K16 is crazy. Now we're on 2K24. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone that's following, man. Look at us. Yo, gang. Man, this just feels natural. You know what I'm saying? There's an offline chat. You know? I feel like I'm home, you know? I feel like streaming on YouTube is like, you know, having an Android. When you stream on Twitch and you really make it big on Twitch, it's just like having an Apple device, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it. But hey, man, that's just me though. That's just me. All right, next video I want to watch with y'all. A little bit on the experimental side of things. It's not directly with the NBA. And I honestly don't really watch his content, but Jesser. Just let me know how y'all feel about these reactions though. Jesser uploaded a video called Guess the Secret NBA Player. Is this going to be our version of watching Jubilee videos? Maybe. But we'll find out though. We'll find out. Guess the secret NBA player.
People are all claiming to be NBA players, but only one of them is telling the truth.
If the
All right, off that screenshot, who do y'all think it is? Who do y'all think it is? That ass. Just off of this screenshot right here. Hey, Souls, would you do 2K content? Low key, I might. I think this is a trick right here. You can't just go for the tallest just because he's the tallest. I'm gonna say just off this screenshot, I'm thinking it's one. A good balance of height. Don't look fat, don't look skinny. I'm going with one.
Telling the truth.
If the judges manage to eliminate everybody except for the NBA player, they win. But if they're wrong, the contestants will split a cash prize.
No spoilers, chat. No spoilers.
Is that LeBron? Welcome, boys.
Hello.
Damn, they're all insanely tall. So, over the next 5 rounds of voting, we have to collectively decide who the secret NBA player is. Now, I am the host, but you guys are the judges. Contestants, before we get into a round of questions, we want to see your jump shot, starting with number 1. This is very telling.
I'm gonna have to move up.
I like the way he just palms the ball. That's a little NBA-ish to me.
And that's a worn-out ball, too. He's giving center vibes.
All right, number 2.
I don't know about that.
Okay, get active.
Not him. Chat, not him. Chat is not number 2. Not number 2. Tell you right now, it's not number 2.
That's on that.
Well, Markelle Fultz, maybe.
I like the flick, but I don't know about the rest of it. One single, no warm-up jump shot is really hard to judge.
Number 3.
That is true. No.
Chat, not number 3. Not. Chat, not number 3. That's crazy.
We can vote number
that
3
was
out.
crazy. Right
Already?
What was that?
Bro,
He could be playing now. He could be.
Oh, true.
Number 4, let's see the jump shot.
Okay, that was solid.
Not feeling that one?
Not feeling that one too, but that
Number 5,
was
let's see the
solid.
jump
That was
shot.
solid.
Taking the 3. All right.
5 was good. I like 5.
Is that the first make?
I think that's the first
That was the
make.
first make.
What are you writing down for number 5?
5 made it.
All right, 6, let's see the jump shot.
Okay.
That's a solid form,
I
though.
like the form. Yeah.
Solid form. We just missed.
All right, now we can get into questions.
So right now is 1, 5, or 6. 1, 5, or 6. Not 2 or 3. I forgot what 4 is, low-key.
Feel free to ask any of them literally any questions. When they got drafted, what teams they played on.
Let's start with number 1. What position do you play?
Center. How tall are you?
7 feet.
Do you want to compare your height to him?
Yeah, go stand by. Yeah, I need to stand next to him.
He could be capping about his height.
I already sized him up. He's pretty big.
Because I lie about being 6 foot all the time, so I could see this guy lying about 7. Oh yeah, he's 7 foot.
Number 2, what year did you get drafted?
1986.
Damn!
Player current?
It could be current or retired.
Oh.
What team did you play on?
Chicago Bulls.
You said Bulls?
You said Bulls.
I feel like we need to see everyone's
Who's
kicks.
this?
Number 2, number 3, could you lift
Craig
your kicks a little
Hodges?
bit?
Fuck.
Okay, some D Roses.
Number 6, you mind lifting up your pants a little bit? Strong Hooper vibes. Strong Hooper vibes. Current.
Number 3, what team did you play on?
Texas Legends. It's the G League team for the Mavericks.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Texas
Okay.
Legends. I didn't know what that was.
Number 4, what team did you play for?
Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks. Number 5?
G League Ignite.
Ooh,
Joe
okay.
Smith.
Number
That's
6?
Joe Smith.
Utah Jazz.
Putting jazz in quotes on my notes.
You're not so sure?
Ask him, hey,
It might
maybe
be
he played on
6.
multiple
It
teams.
that ass
Have
might
any
be
of you
6.
ever been traded?
Yes.
Yeah.
They sounded sad.
It's a business.
It is true. It is a business.
It is
He ain't lying.
Number 1, what size are your shoes?
18.
18.
Number 6, what size are your shoes?
16.
16.
So number 2, you said you played on the Bulls. Do you have any Michael Jordan stories?
Only getting schooled on the court. He's a very competitive player, and he pushed us really hard. So no matter if you were new on the team or a veteran, he always came at you the same way.
Nah.
Sounds like.
That's too basic. I need something specific. That lets me know that you was really hooping with MJ for real, bruh. It gotta be on something. Like, I ain't gonna lie, there was this one time me and Jordan went to the 7-Eleven on 56th Street, right? And then like he busted my ass on the court next to the 7-Eleven type shit, bro. Like, nah. That whole man, he's just competitive, so we're gonna push it. Nah, I can't go.
That's not accurate.
I'm gonna be honest, man.
Can't,
I
bro.
feel like no NBA player would say getting schooled on the court.
He was drafted in '86.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
language
pretty
back
old school
then.
language, man. Trust me.
Schooled was the term back then.
All right, well, I'm ready to vote.
I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
It's time for our first round of votes. James,
Number
who are we
3.
voting out? Number 3.
I'm gonna go number 3 as well.
Yeah, number 3, man.
Number 3.
Do you want to have a last-second plead, number 3?
If it's across the board, I can't do anything about that.
That's
All right.
Hold on, one thing. Can you show me a pump fake?
Pump fake?
Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah.
All right, number 3 has been eliminated from that round. So for this round,
was
we want to see your
crazy.
guys' dribble moves. We could even get up there. So can we just see some right-hand pound dribbles? Okay. What about the left-hand pound dribble?
I'm telling you, it's not 2, bruh. 2 is
What do
capping.
you think?
Oh,
He's nice.
yeah, he's nice. I got
1
this.
is
I
nice.
get this.
5 is nice. This is how you can tell. Look at 2 and 4. Look where their hands are. They're
It's
guarding
not
the ball.
2,
Look
bro.
at 5's hand. His hand is up, ready to just swipe away a defender. 6, same thing. Number
6 not
1,
looking
same
too good.
thing.
You guys want to stand up? Should we, let's go over there. We got to inspect them. Is he strong?
Yes.
Yeah, you got a stable base. Look at his balance too.
I know.
That's it. Oh, he's solid.
I know for sure who we need to eliminate.
All right, we can go sit. You guys can stop dribbling.
Yeah, 1 and 5 not even looking at the ball, bro.
I feel like we got to dive deeper into their stories.
Number 1, what kind of were you like a stretch 5, post up big? What was your play style?
Just post up big. It's back in '06.
Okay.
How was it playing against LeBron?
Crazy. Not much I could do, especially off the switch.
No. Old head NBA players who played back then, they were always mean to LeBron, bro. That was too nice.
Number 1, too nice.
Nice.
Who was the toughest person to guard?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, that checks out.
Okay, yep. That was quick too.
Number 2, did you play for any other teams?
Yes, Golden State and Charlotte.
Was you part of the Splash Bros?
No, I played in '86.
How many points a game did you score?
I averaged 18.5.
Dang.
Golly.
You know what?
During your prime.
Low key, maybe 2. You know, he was an old head, just hasn't hooped in 20 years, so maybe his skills just aren't there. It still might be 2 though, low key.
Yes.
But his
What year
story's
did you
just not
retire?
checking out, bro.
89.
You played 3 seasons?
Wait, hold on.
You averaged
Which teams did he say he played for?
Golden State and Charlotte.
Was you
When did he play with Jordan then? Nah, he's lying. He's lying.
part of the Splash Bros?
No, I played in '86.
How many points a game did you score?
I averaged 18.5.
Dang.
Golly.
during your prime?
Yes.
What year did you retire?
89.
You played 3 seasons? You averaged 18 and played
He
only
was
3
drafted
seasons?
to
I
the
had ripped up meniscus. I had 3 surgeries and a torn rotator cuff in my shoulder from an accident.
Damn. He's lying.
Number 5, who's the
Stay here,
hardest
bud.
person you had to guard?
Probably Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Definitely Kyrie.
That makes sense.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Number 6, who was the hardest person you had to guard?
KD.
That checks out too.
Wait, what? Oh. Man. Bud.